Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for clicking on today's video. And what is today's video? Well, you guys made the picks for our Chicago Bears annual fan-led mock draft. We were live on Tuesday. If you were there, we had a lot of fun as you guys got to make every pick for each of the Bears' 6 draft picks. We had options for every pick. You guys made the pick. Of course, the draft starts next Thursday, April 28th. I had a lot of fun with this, doing this live. So now, little recap for those of you who may have already seen this, a deeper dive into each of the prospects. Plus, for those of you who haven't seen it, hey, you get to decide who your fellow Bears Now subscribers or Bears fans ended up selecting for this mock draft. So we'll go through all of it here in just a little bit. But here's the deal. The NFL draft is less than a week away, and I want you guys to send me your mock drafts on Instagram. So 2 steps. Follow me at HGramNFL, 50 or so followers away from 3,000. If we get there before the NFL draft, I'm going to do a Bears Now IG Live, so follow me if you haven't already. Also, send me your best mock drafts. If you are a follower of me and you send me your mocks, I will grade your mock drafts on Instagram as well. So slide in the DMs, give me a follow, do your mock draft simulators for the Bears, and hey, we'll take a look at them. I'll give you some feedback and give you my thoughts on them as well. So give me a follow on Instagram. It's at HGramNFL. All right, the first selection at pick number 39, round 2 of this Bears fan-led mock draft. Hey, it's Kenyon Green again. He's catching a lot of buzz in Bears mock draft circles. Mel Kiper mocked him to the Bears. I mocked him in my last mock, and now you guys selected Kenyon Green as well. Had just 1 sack this past season. Versatile offensive lineman, plays with good power, has good enough feet. I think he can plug and play at right guard, which is kind of what you need, right? You don't have a guard that can play right there. I mean, sure, Dakota Dozier or Sam Mustipher, who, I guess one of those guys could start there, but that's not what you want. You draft Kenyon Green, your interior might be set for this year. I guess Cody Whitehair could be a post-June 1 cut, but at this point, I do not expect that to happen. Green is one of my dream targets at number 39. He really is. He's one of the guys I would take a hard look at with this selection, and one of the guys that I would love to draft if he is there for Chicago. Now, I do want to show you guys who was available at each pick and who you guys decided from, for those of you on the live mock draft. The available picks at 39, by the way, were Kenyon Green. Who were the other ones, Jack? We had Jahan Dotson, a couple others as well. I'm drawing a blank here. For the rest of the picks, we'll have the visual graphic for you guys to look at, but for this first one, it's just Kenyon Green's the pick. Oh, but you know why there aren't other options? Because we got a super chat who made the selection, so it took the options out, moot point anyway. Kenyon Green, the selection at 39. So who is your dream target at number 39? I want to hear from you guys. Christian Watson was one of the other players at that selection, but Kenyon Green was the pick. Who do you want at 39? Go into your dreams and make the pick. All right, round 2, pick number 48. Here were the options available just 9 picks later. Quay Walker, the linebacker out of Georgia. Roger McCreary, the cornerback out of Auburn. Jahan Dotson, the receiver out of Penn State. And then Bernard Raymond, the offensive lineman out of Central Michigan. Obviously, you went O-line in round 1, so it's only natural to go wide receiver in round 2. Actually, both round 2. I meant first pick, second pick. Second pick for the Bears, both in the second round. Jahan Dotson, the receiver out of Penn State, which if he falls to 48, let's freaking ride, because there's been a lot of mocks that have him go in round 1. The way this mock fell, it fell really well for you guys, and you guys made some good picks. Dotson had 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns last year. Good speed, good yards after the catch. He can return punts as well. I think he'd be a fun player in this offense because I think he's got big play potential with Darnell Mooney in the mix. We know what he can do. Byron Pringle is a solid number 3-ish type of receiver. So if he could be your number 3, Dotson becomes your number 2. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, I do think it would be shocking or at least surprising if Dotson was there at number 48 overall, but weird things happen on draft night. And I do think this is one of those drafts where things could get weird, wonky, tricky, and, someone's going to fall, right? We keep talking about, like, oh, no way Treylon Burks will be in the second round. No way Jahan Dotson. Well, these guys, 50 players can't get drafted in the top 32. Like, guys are going to fall. It's just a matter of who they are and what position are they at. Hopefully it's at a position that the Bears could benefit from. Make sure you guys subscribe to Chat Sports, our main YouTube channel here that makes Bears Now possible, by the way. And join us for all 7 rounds of the NFL Draft starting this upcoming Thursday, April 28th. You'll see me on a lot of our main NFL Draft coverage. I'll also be live here on Bears Now from time to time as well, especially in the second round. But subscribe, join us, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We will have you guys covered throughout the 2022 NFL Draft. All right, let's jump to round 3, pick number 71. Some good players available here, too. George Pickens, the Georgia receiver, I like him a lot. Jalen Petrie, the safety out of Baylor, big fan of him. Myjai Sanders is a good defensive end out of Cincinnati. Mississippi State corner, Martin Emerson. And you guys voted on George Pickens, doubling up at wide receiver. So O-line, receiver with the first 3 picks, Kenyon Green, Jahan Dotson, and now George Pickens, who did not do much last year because he came back from that ACL tear, played in the last couple of games. But really good size, good speed. I think he's got wide receiver 1 potential. I really, really do. I think for a guy that you could get in the second, maybe the third round, like it fell in this mock draft, he's got wide receiver 1 upside. The good news is you probably don't really need him to be that, at least not right away. Be a number 2, opposite of Darnell Mooney, big, physical, fast. Give Justin Fields another big-time weapon on the outside. I like Pickens a lot. I like it even more when you get him in the third round after taking Jahan Dotson in the second round. Now, which prospect do you like more this year? Type JD for Jahan Dotson, type GP for George Pickens. You get them both. That would be absolutely incredible. Let us know which receiver prospect you like better. All right, no fourth-round picks, so we jumped to round 5, and the way we did it on our live show was we did the 2 fifth-round picks kind of together because it's at 148 and 150, so we made it that way. Chris Paul, the offensive lineman out of Tulsa, John Ridgeway, the defensive lineman out of Arkansas, Michael Wright, the corner out of Oregon, and Matt Araiza, the punter out of San Diego State. So the top 2 vote getters ended up being the selections in this mock draft. The player with the most votes was Chris Paul. No, not the point guard for the Phoenix Suns, the offensive lineman out of Tulsa. He's got tackle, guard, flexibility. I actually think he can be kind of a swing tackle type in the NFL. 6'4", about 320 there. Only gave up 2 sacks. You know, Tyler Smith is the Tulsa lineman getting a lot of buzz, but Chris Paul, I think, on day 3, I think could be a swing tackle candidate for you. I think he could come in, play swing tackle. You could kick him inside some as well. I think he's got that versatility, and I think versatility is key for day 3 players, and for Chris Paul, that should be something that gets him drafted at least fairly high in the 5th or maybe the 6th round. Matt Araiza, y'all went punter over Michael Wright, the cornerback. It was very close, but you guys took the fun punter out of San Diego State. And yes, for a punter, he is fun because he blasts the ball over 51 yards per punt. He had a long of 86. That was one of 2 or 3 80-plus yard punts this year. And look, let's be honest. You kind of need a punter after losing Pat O'Donnell to the Packers. The Bears have someone on their roster at punter. I can't remember his name, but Matt Araiza would be a huge upgrade. Obviously, the Bears have a lot of needs, but make no mistake, Araiza will be drafted by some team this year. Should the Bears be that team? Do you want to draft the superstar punter out of San Diego State, type D for draft, type P for pass? I wouldn't hate it because you know you're getting a high-level starter at his position. It is a punter, though, and you have other needs. And ideally, you never punt. So, it's kind of one of those tricky deals. Let us know. Would you like to see it happen? Be sure to subscribe here on Bears Now because, like I said, we'll be live some during the NFL Draft. And, of course, we'll continue to publish daily videos, latest news, rumors, and much more. We'll have video breakdowns of all the draft picks for the Bears as well, draft grades. It's going to be a lot of fun. So subscribe. Join us. Also, my final mock draft will drop sometime next week, probably Wednesday, the day before the draft. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see what happens on that front. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you know when we publish new videos. All right, round 6, pick number 186. We just went 3 options here. Obinna Eze, the offensive tackle out of TCU. Hassan Haskins, the Michigan running back. And then SMU receiver Danny Gray, who actually took a top 30 visit to Hallis Hall last week, I believe, or earlier this week, can't remember which, but he was there, big and physical and fast. You guys decided to go offensive line. My alma mater, TCU, Obinna Eze, transferred from Memphis to TCU this past year. I like him. I don't think he's a starter in the NFL, at least not right now. I think maybe down the road he could develop in being that. Played tackle in college. 4 sacks last year. It's not a great number, but he's got good size. He's got decent technique, a lot of experience. I think started 3 years at Memphis before last year at TCU. So he's played a lot of college football. I think this is one of those kind of depth offensive line signings where, hey, like we've got you and Latavius Simmons. You guys fight for a roster spot. One of those type of deals. And make the best man win. So there you go. There was the Penn-led mock draft. You guys made the picks after I was running through the simulator live and gave you guys the best players available for each pick, and I think you guys did a good job. Kenyon Green, the offensive lineman out of A&M, I like that selection. Jahan Dotson and George Pickens, a pair of quality receivers in round 2 and round 3 as well. Chris Paul, I think, can be a solid, rotation offensive lineman, a backup there. Matt Araiza, maybe it's controversial that you guys drafted a punter, but he is a starter, and believe me, someone will draft him. Obinna out of TCU. Again, I think he's kind of a compete for a roster spot on that offensive line on the the back end of the roster type of deal. So there you go. Those were the 6 picks in today's mock draft. That was, of course, your first draft. Grade your own mock draft. Fan-led. You guys made the picks. I know not every one of you guys participated, but give yourself a little pat on the back. I'll give it an A-. I thought it was pretty darn good overall. A, B, C, D, or F. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Like we said, please subscribe. We'll have another live show next Tuesday before before the draft on Thursday, so it's going to be a lot of fun. More draft videos to come. My final mock draft, we'll probably do one more draft targets video. We'll see. We'll cook some things up, the latest news and rumors as well. YouTube.com/BearsNow. We'll see you soon. And with that being said, have a good day.